What if I told you that the silence around the biggest political scandal in recent South African history was priced at 50 million rand, or better yet, a blank check? Imagine opening a criminal case against the President of the Republic, and less than 14 days later, the underworld, political heavyweights and state apparatus all converge to make you an offer you supposedly can't refuse: state protection, your choice of any government department, and the erasure of your name from the Zondo Commission on State Capture. But when you refuse the carrot, they bring out the stick. Now, let's get into the prima facie facts, because the Constitutional Court just threw a massive spanner in the works, and President Cyril Ramaphosa's political survival is hanging by a thread. Let's rewind to June 1, 2022. Former State Security Agency boss Arthur Fraser walks into the Rosebank police station and blows the lid off the Phala farm scandal. He lays a criminal complaint regarding the theft of millions in foreign currency hidden in furniture. But it's what happens after the police stamp that docket that sounds like a script straight out of a Hollywood mafia movie. In an exclusive interview with veteran journalist Mzilikazi wa Africa for the Unpopular Opinion podcast, Fraser drops absolute bombshells. Listen to this.
So, talking about making ends meet, shortly after you opened the Phala case, you were approached and offered a whole lot of money.
That's true.
It's about 50 million.
Plus.
50 million plus.
No, it was 50 million and there was additional.
To drop the case. Tell us about that. How did it happen?
Okay, that happened on the 15th of June,
yes,
2022.
Yes. It's like 14 days after I opened the case.
Correct.
After I opened the Phala case, I was offered 50 million rand plus some additional money to drop the case, 14 days after I opened the Phala case. 50 million rand in 14 days. According to Fraser, a former associate of his was approached by none other than the slain Cape Town underworld figure Mark Liffman. Liffman allegedly claimed he had a direct line to the president's inner circle. The mandate? Make the Phala docket disappear. But the 50 million rand was just the starting bid. Fraser claims he was told he could choose any government department he wanted, including a return to intelligence. Think about the political expediency here, offering the keys to state intelligence to bury a burglary. That is the definition of a constitutional crisis.
That person asked me to actually pull the trigger because we should not have a president that is involved in the type of activities that they were involved in.
2022.
Yeah.
You walk into Rosebank police station.
Correct.
To open a case against the sitting president of South Africa. Correct. Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa.
And people cross the border.
Yes.
During COVID.
Yes.
So a multitude of crimes were committed. The people that was party to this thing said it was with the knowledge and the consent of the president.
But from the people that told you all this, how much money was stolen?
Look, they said nobody could put a finger on it. They knew it was in excess of $2 million. In that recording, he says, no, we only took $800,000 because the woman told them, you can't take everything. You must leave something so that the president don't see you've taken the money.
So it means there was something left.
Of course. Correct.
Your case is against the president.
Correct.
And Wali and them.
Correct.
So how far is your case? Because you were the first one to open the case. They opened their case, I think, a year later.
NBA closed that case.
Your case?
Yeah, my case was closed. They said there was nothing. They couldn't prosecute. And that decision was taken by the DPP Limpopo.
Yes.
Ivy Tenga.
Yes. Shortly after you opened the Phala case, you were approached and offered a whole lot of money.
That's true.
It's about 50 million.
Plus.
50 million plus.
No, it was 50 million and there was additional.
To drop the case. Tell us about that. How did it happen?
That happened on the 15th of June,
Yes.
2022.
Yes. It's like 14 days after I opened the case.
Correct.
Yes.
A comrade of mine that worked with in the Dora unit.
Yes.
He was actually the commissar of the Dora unit.
Yes.
He gets approached by Mark Liffman. And Mark Liffman indicates to him that, he's close to the advisor of the president. And he then says, look, had indicated that the president had asked him to make this matter go away, and that he was offering me 50 million to collapse this case. But apart from the 50 million,
Yes.
he indicated that I could choose any department I wanted in government. They would give it to me.
So you're no longer a liability now.
Yeah, including, exactly, including intelligence.
Okay.
If the money and the cabinet posts weren't enough, Fraser dropped an allegation that shakes the very foundation of our judiciary. He claims he was promised that the adverse findings against him by Chief Justice Raymond Zondo in the State Capture Commission would be amended, erased, made to disappear.
True, that the investigations that is being run against me, they would stop that. They told me that they would get the chairperson, Zondo,
Yes.
to amend his findings against me
On the Zondo Commission.
on the Zondo Commission's report.
Okay.
And Mark tell him, look, the 50 million is off the table. In actual fact, it's a blank script. You must just put the number
How much you want?
and they'll deliver it with all the other things.
The other conditions.
And I told him, no, man, I'm not interested. I've got no interest. What?
Remember, the Zondo Commission painted Fraser as a law unto himself, implicating him in the massive abuse of SSA assets to the tune of 600 million rand. Fraser says he initially dismissed the offer as too far-fetched. You can't just tell the Chief Justice to change his report, right? But then the handover of the Zondo Commission's final report was mysteriously delayed by the presidency. Fraser says, and then I realized this thing can't be a coincidence. The manipulation of an independent judicial inquiry to secure political survival, if proven true, this moves beyond a farm burglary. It is defeating the ends of justice on a supreme level. When Fraser flat out rejected the 50 million rand, a second meeting allegedly took place. The associates go back to Mark Liffman and the offer changes. It's no longer 50 million, it's a blank check. Name your price. Fraser says no again. And in South African politics, when the blank check is rejected, the threats begin. During one meeting, a close advisor to the president was allegedly put on speakerphone. The message was chilling. If they don't take this offer, we have already spoken to a businessman. That businessman? Fraser names him as Mswazi, referring to the late feared Mpumalanga taxi boss, Jotham Sibi. If you don't take this offer, they will get the businessman to deal with us. This is a brazen death threat. Fraser claims he contacted his legal counsel only to find out his lawyer had been approached by a politician with the exact same offers. This wasn't a rogue element, it was a coordinated, high-level operation to neutralize a threat.
My understanding, subsequent to that, you get hitmen on you.
Oh, no, you're right. Sorry, I forgot that.
Yes.
But I think he doesn't realize
That is on the
speakerphone.
Okay.
So he tells them, please tell them that if they don't take this offer, we have already spoken to a businessman. He's Mswazi Msibi. And he will be getting us in Kabi. So if they don't take this offer, they will get the Nkabis to deal with us, with me.
Okay. You guys had to go to KZN. just to try and make sure that you guys don't get killed.
And that is why we chose Pala Pala amongst the stuff that I... So Pala Pala
It's one of the amongst.
is one of others. Pala Pala came after I was out of the farm.
Now let's look at the institutional paralysis. Fraser's case against the president shut down. The Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, declined to prosecute, citing a lack of evidence. But wait, how can there be no case when the suspects accused of stealing the money from the farm are currently facing active criminal proceedings? How do you prosecute the theft of the money but ignore the statutory breaches of the Prevention of Corrupt Activities Act regarding the source and concealment of that same money? Fraser points out that findings by the Independent Police Investigative Directorate, IPID, completely contradicted the DPP's decision not to prosecute. And then comes the political pressure. Fraser alleges that President Ramaphosa essentially admitted to taking instructions from the Democratic Alliance.
I go home next Saturday. It's a Saturday. I go to the president's house. I'm there. As you would have realized today, I'm punctual about time. So
No, I know.
On time.
I know that, yeah.
So I get there at 7 o'clock. And as we're walking in, he greets me cordially. But before we're sitting, he says, you know, Commissioner, I want to start with the DJ ended yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized, this president, at least you have the decency
to sit me down
to sit
and take me through the whole...
Yeah. So he says, no, I'm under pressure, I need you to resign, and that's what I'm here to ask you.
Pressure from who? Because he's the president of the country.
Yeah, no, I'll explain, I'll take you through if you don't mind.
Okay.
So I asked him, I firstly said, I can't resign. I told him, no, I said, Mr. President, let me go back where I ended with the DJ yesterday. You've got access to a report that vindicates me.
Yes.
So you and me know that this matter is not what it is.
Yes. It's just been twisted.
Yeah, and I understand it's politics. At least we understand the truth. So I don't think I can deal with the noise. I can deal with the noise. He then states to me that, he's getting pressure from the DA.
From the DA?
From the DA.
To fire you?
To fire me.
And he's the president of the ANC in the country?
You must know what he says after this.
Okay, I'm listening.
So he says he's under pressure from the DA. So I said, I understand, that's political noise, Mr. President. He says, no, but you are a liability to the ANC, Commissioner. Hey?
Liability?
Liability.
In what way?
It is the first time that, let alone a president of the ANC. It's the first time somebody says I'm a liability to government. He says you're a liability to the ANC, you are a liability to government, you are a liability to me. And I look at this, my ANC president, and I say, oh. And I then say, so Mr. President, is this how deep factionalism has gone in the ANC? Because remember, I don't see myself as a factionalist. I'm there as a public servant, deployed by our movement at least. So I say, so this is how DP says yes.
So I admit that it was done based on factionalism, not on you being really a liability, so to speak.
Yeah, so I then tell him, but Mr. President, he said, but you helped NDZ at Nasrec.
2017. Yes.
So I told him, Mr. President, do you think you'd be president if I helped NDZ at Nasrec? Because I don't think so. And there was a pause, silence.
An ANC president allegedly taking instructions from the DA to fire a national commissioner, calling him a liability. The political realignment we are seeing today in 2026 makes this revelation incredibly prophetic. And this brings us to right now. Why is Fraser speaking out now? Because the shield protecting the president has just been shattered. Just days ago, on May 8, 2026, the Constitutional Court handed down a historic ruling. The EFF and ATM took Parliament to court over the December 2022 vote where the ANC majority used their numbers to block the Section 89 Independent Panel report. That report, led by former Chief Justice, found prima facie evidence that Ramaphosa had a case to answer. The ConCourt has ruled that the National Assembly's rule allowing them to block the impeachment inquiry was unconstitutional. They called it a majoritarian abuse. The court has explicitly ordered Parliament to establish a formal impeachment committee to investigate the president. This is the endgame. Arthur Fraser is now gearing up to testify at this newly revived impeachment inquiry. Fellow South Africans, this is no longer just about dollars in a couch. If Arthur Fraser presents tangible evidence of a $50 million bribe, state protection offers, and underworld threats at the impeachment inquiry, it will make the Zondo Commission look like a warm-up act. Some critics ask, who can deny $50 million in cash? Well, it seems Fraser did. But the bigger question is, who was writing the check? The culture of political patronage and bribery is deeply entrenched. If these allegations are proven true, President Ramaphosa faces not just a political exit, but the very real prospect of multiple criminal charges. What are your thoughts? Do you believe Arthur Fraser's explosive claims, or is this political maneuvering? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below.